Hello everybody, this is Selena Pulverino, Content Manager at AppsBuilder. Welcome to this webinar today dedicated to tourism enterprises in the hospitality industry. So today I'll walk you around the platform to show you how to create an application for your business, and particularly for a hotel, a restaurant, a bed and breakfast, completely from scratch. So for those of you who are not familiar with AppsBuilder yet, let me just give you a very quick introduction about us. AppsBuilder was born in 2010 with the aim of turning what is typically an expensive and time-consuming process into a simplified practice, something extremely easy and intuitive that doesn't require any coding skills. So over these years we have seen the mobile market explode. There are currently over 900,000 applications available on the Apple App Store, and Google Play has recently beaten the Apple App Store with over 1 million applications available on Google Play. So mobile devices are particularly ever more used in the travel and hospitality industry, and particularly according to a research by Euromonitor International, it looks like that over 50% of European customers will use smartphones to make holiday bookings in the near future. And these data seems to be confirmed also by some Nielsen statistics on the travel market, according to which 85% of travelers use smartphones while abroad. 30% of them have used mobile applications to find hotel deals, and 23% have booked restaurants via smartphone. So with such figures in mind, it's easy to understand why the mobile industry is like a gold mine for hospitality businesses. I mean, there was a time when people used to travel around the world with guidebooks, maps, and other printed material, but that era has died out. So the future is now always on, and it's in the form of a smartphone right inside our pockets. So, in other words, hospitality businesses that want to be successful and competitive need to keep up with this mobile trend, and they have to start creating a mobile presence as soon as possible. And that's where AppsBuilder gets in. So AppsBuilder is the only do-it-yourself tool that combines 3 different functions into one single tool. With AppsBuilder, you can of course create mobile applications. Sorry, first of all, I'm just interrupting. I want to make sure that you all can listen to me. Could you please give me a feedback using the chat box that you find in the right-hand side of your screen? Because I have just received some feedback from one of our listeners who seems to have some problems with the audio. Okay, so apparently it looks that the system works fine, so I suggest that our friend checks his audio settings on his desktop. Okay, so I was saying that AppsBuilder combines 3 different functions into one single tool. So with AppsBuilder, of course, you can create mobile applications as well as mobile websites, what is technically referred to as HTML5 web app. But we also provide you with several promotional tools to spread the word about your application and drive more traffic to it. At the same time, we also know that mobile apps are made for engaging with your audience. You need to reach out to them and be able to communicate to them on the fly, on the move, when they need your services at the right time. And that's the reason why we also provide you with several engagement tools, such as social sharing options, mailing list features, promotional pop-ups, most of which we'll have the chance to see more carefully during our next webinars. So before we get this started, let's just have a quick view to show you what I'm going to go over in this webinar. So first of all, of course, we're going to have a complete walkthrough to build your application from scratch, and we'll try to stick to a time frame of about an hour. Then, of course, we're going to see how to manage in-app bookings so that you will be able to enable your users to book your services through your application just by tapping an icon on their smartphone screen. And then we're also going to see how to enable shopping cart options so that you will be able to promote your special deals through your application and allow your users to grab the offer on the fly. We're also going to see some features, some design customization features to customize your application's design. And of all our promotional tools, today we are going to focus on how to create an app landing page. So like I said, to spread word about your app to increase your app's popularity and drive more traffic to it and encourage downloads, of course. In the final part of this webinar, we will also have a short Q&A sessions where you can put forward your questions, and basically all you have to do is just use the chat box that I pointed out a few minutes ago and type in your questions, and of course I'll do my best to answer as many questions as possible. Anyway, don't worry because this webinar is recorded, so if you need to go through the webinar, if you have to leave early before the end of the webinar, don't worry because the webinar will be sent to you at the end of it, so you will have the chance to go over it anytime you want. Just check in your inbox. Okay, so let's get started with AppsBuilder number 1 function, which is of course creating applications. So there are basically 2 ways to create an application with our platform. If this is the first time that you are using AppsBuilder, then you can simply use the Try for Free button that you find on our homepage. Just click on it. If this is not the first time, which I assume is your case, you can log in to access our platform using your username and password, which is what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so now I've entered the advanced dashboard, which at the moment of course is empty because I haven't created any application yet. So all you have to do is just click on Create a New App, and this will redirect you to our guided tour that we usually call Wizard. So in first step you'll be asked to provide your app information, and first of all to provide an app name. For today's webinar I'm going to call my application Mandarin Oriental, and I'll tell you why in a few minutes. If you want, you can also provide a website URL. This is not compulsory, it's optional, so you don't have to do it, but this is strongly recommended if you have a website or a blog and you wish to import contents for these sources right into your application. And then of course, if this is not the first time that you're using AppsBuilder, so you are already quite familiar with the whole procedure, you can choose to skip the wizard and so go straight to the advanced panel. This time I will walk you through all the different stages of our wizard, so click on Next Step. Here you can choose the pages that you want to display inside your application. As you can see, you can choose among a wide range of modules: social modules, news pages, photo galleries, video galleries, podcasts, and all type of multimedia files. Don't worry because you don't have to make up your mind right now. You will be free to edit these modules, add new pages and remove other pages if necessary from the advanced panel. So I'm just going to add a few pages just to show you how easy it is to add pages. Basically all you have to do is just click on the icon and then click on Next Step. Right, here I can pick a template for my application, and as you can see I can choose among over 80 ready-made templates, but if you want you can also create your very own template from scratch using our design customization features from the advanced platform. As you can see below each template, you can also see some menu styles options. For example, here you have a grid on 4 columns. Here we have several options like the grid on 3 columns, or a menu style like a grid on 5 columns, on 4, or as a list. I'm going to go for a very basic template today because basically I'm going to customize the template with you. So I choose this one and just click on Next Step. Well, this is just a confirmation page to say that your application's basic structure is now ready. So you're ready to save your application and go straight to the advanced panel. Just click on Save. Right, so that's the advanced panel. First of all, here you can see a list of messages popping up around the dashboard. Well, these are a series of tips to introduce you to the different sections of the platform and suggest you how to use the different features. I recommend that you make some time to go through these tips because they really provide some useful insights on how to use AppsBuilder's features. If you want to skip them, just click on the cross here. On the left-hand side, you can see the list of all the pages that you can add to your application, divided into main categories. So we have a general content section, multimedia with photo, video, podcasts, and so on. Plenty of social modules, contact pages to reach out to your users and be easily approached, forms, and widgets. We're going to see some of these more detailed in our webinar today. And of course, in the central panel, you can see the 3 pages that I previously added during the wizard. Then you can see this navigation bar here, which tells you the section you are in at the moment and on which aspect of your application you are currently working on. So at the moment we are working on content, of course. In a few minutes we will move to the look and feel to start customize the design of our application, and then we'll move on until the promotional tools. I also want to drag your attention to these 2 little icons that you can see here. So this is a notification box, and make sure that you regularly check the messages in this box, because that's where we send notifications about recent updates and special offers available at the moment. For example, this one is a reminder about new features to upload your manual content, and you can click on this link to read the tutorial and learn how to perform this task. The other icon here is the checklist, where we have gathered 8 fundamental recommendations to improve your application. So if you have the chance, make some time to go through them, because in each one of these you will find some tips and tricks to improve your application, and also some resources, some more extensive resources to find out more, to have some extra information on the subject. For example, here you will find some tips on how to write mobile optimized content, and you can also download the ebook to find out more on the subject. Okay, then on the right hand side of each module you will find 3 little icons. This one is for add-in content, this one is to set some basic design options about your application, and this one is to delete your module. At the moment I want to delete all the 3 modules that we previously added just for example, so we'll add some new pages together from scratch. The very last thing I want to show you before we actually start creating the application is the final number that you find at the end of your URL. So make note of this number, because this is usually called the application ID. Keep note of this number because this is the identification number of your application, the number that you have to provide when you need support with your application, so that our customer care specialists can easily identify your application and deal with your issue. So if you need help, remember to provide the application ID that you find at the end of the URL. Okay, for today's webinar I'm going to create an application for Mandarin Oriental Hotel. It's a chain of luxury hotels with several branches worldwide, and particularly today I'm going to focus on their branch in New York. So maybe you already know the group. Anyway, the group has received several awards for quality management and hospitality services. So I guess the next step for Mandarin Oriental is to go mobile and start promoting their products and services across the mobile audience. That's the reason why I'm going to create an application for them today. I'm going to use their website as a point of reference, both in terms of layout, colors, and design, and of course in terms of contents as well. The first page I want to create is an About Us page, so with a brief company history and directions to reach the premises. To create this type of page, I'm going to use a special type of module that you can find under the General Content section, and it's called Places. There you go. If you want to add modules to your application, it's extremely easy. You can either just click on the module, or you can drag and drop the module into the central panel. Okay, like I said before, this is a special type of page where I can create my very own content manually, so without actually importing it from an external URL or a feed, as it can be done for other types of pages in AppsBuilder, such as the news page or social pages. If you have already created a manual content that you want to import, just click on Archive and browse through the different feeds and select the one that you want to import. If you have to create your own manual content from scratch, as in our case today, then just click on Custom and create a new one. That's the main panel, which is currently empty, of course, so let's add a new one. Okay, this is a helper where you can see the explanation of all the different fields that you will find on this page. So if you need some help, you can take a look at these explanations here. I'm going to close the helper today because you have me for this webinar. So the very first thing that I have to say is to give a title to this page. So I'm going to call it Find Us. You can also add a short description, which I can take from the website. I'm just copy and paste this description here. You can also set a date. Suppose today, it's fine. If you want, you can also provide a link where your users can find extensive information on the location or on the topic. So in this case, as you can see, the page is quite dense, it's quite rich in content. So I'm going to provide this URL so that if they need extra information, they can take a look at this website. And of course, you have to provide some place information, so the exact street. There you go. And the zip code. If you want, you can also provide some extra information, some more contact details, very helpful in case of a hotel, to be honest. So I'm going to paste in a phone number and an email address. The active or inactive button is to show incomplete, is to hide actually incomplete pages from your users. So this option is particularly handy if your content is still a draft and you wish to go over it later before making it accessible to your users. Whereas the geolocalization option is one of my favorite options, and this is basically what mobile applications are for, so making your content easily accessible to people on the move when they most need it. So as you can see, I have a marker, and all you have to do is just drag the marker over the map to show the exact location. You can either do that or insert a specific address if you have one. There you go. And the marker now shows the exact location of the hotel. So what's the use of this function? It means that when your users get closer to your location, they will see this page right on top of the list of all the other pages inside their application. So it's a very effective way to get in touch with your users at the right time and deliver the right content to the right audience. I'll save my changes. And I also want to add a nice image for this page, so just click on Change. Well, for this webinar, to go a little bit faster, I have already created a folder here with all the pictures, all the images that I'm going to use during the webinar. But if you want to upload your own images, it's extremely easy. All you have to do is just click on this tab here, Upload Your Images, and select the files from your desktop, from your folders that you wish to import. We also give you the chance to choose from some ready-made icons and design features that we provide on our database. I'm going to use this image and save my changes. Okay, save changes again. And we can now use the preview on the right-hand side of the screen to take a look at what we have just done and so preview our changes in real time, which is very handy with mobile applications. There you go. So as you can see, we have our little introductory image. We have all the contact details that we previously provided and a short description of the place. If you click on this icon here, you will be redirected to Google Maps, where you can find more information about maps and directions as well to reach your premises. Okay, but actually I want to embed this page inside another more general page, which I'm going to call About Us. To do that, I will simply use a news module that is going to work this time as a general container. So I'm going to turn Places, this module here, into a submenu. To do that, all I have to do is just drag the module slightly to the right, like this. So if I now click on News, I will see the pages right inside. Now inside this module, this main container, I also want to add another page, which is a widget for directions, because I think that along with a map to locate the hotel premises, it might be a good idea also to offer a route planner to your hotel guests so that they can use your application not only to spot your premises on the map, but also to walk around the city. So basically, it's an additional service that will add more value to your application and will give your users more reasons to check in into your application. I'm going to move to the widget sections here and select one of our special features that is called Directions. And once again, I want to use it as a submenu, so just slightly drag it to the right. And these pages are extremely easy to use. So basically you don't have to set any special options. They are ready-made to be used. Just click on Directions. I want to show you how it works. So basically it's a route planner, so you can select your starting point. Suppose that your guests are, for example, in Central Park. And they need some directions to go back to the hotel. So the hotel is here. There you go. And so, as you can see, you find your route on the map, and you can also find directions to reach the place. I think it might be useful also to add a contact page in this section so that your users can easily get in touch with you. To do that, let's move to the contacts category, and let's use this page called Email Us. Once again, let's turn it into a sub-page. For the email, of course, you have to provide an email address. And if you want, you can also set a default message to facilitate your users. So suppose that you have recently launched a new product, for example, a new offer, and so you assume that most of your guests are going to send you messages asking more details about this offer. So you can set a default message to facilitate them so that they won't even have to bother about typing in the message, or if you want, you can just leave it blank. I give an example. So Christmas deals. Hi. So as you can see, hi, I'd like to receive further information about your Christmas deals. Thanks. But like I said, you can also leave it blank. I'll save my changes. So as you can see, right inside the news page, I now have three submenus, one to locate my premises, the other one to get directions to move around easily the city, and the other one to get in touch with the hotel. Now let's go back for a second to their website. Well, as you can see, of course, they have a wide range of luxury rooms. and suites for all types of needs. So I'd like to recreate a gallery like this one in my application as well. I'm going to choose this room and see the details. Okay, I will start recreating a page like this one with the details about City View room. Let's go back to our platform. So to create a gallery with all the different rooms, I'm going to use a special page that I can find under the general content section. It's called Catalog, and it's particularly suitable for showcasing the different products on sale. In this case, we want to showcase all the different rooms available to our guests. Once again, the procedure is the same. So I click on Add Content, and you can choose between a previously created module or create a new one from scratch. Okay. Let's give a title to our page. You can also add a short description, or maybe we could list the room features. Let's say the date. And once again, it might be very handy to provide a link here so that our guests can take a look at all the other features, the extra information that they can find on this page. And of course, you can enable geolocalization options just like we did before. Let's also add a nice image for this room. Okay. Then save changes. As you can see, of course, you can do the same procedure. You can repeat the same procedure over and over for all the different room types that you have in your hotel. Save changes, and let's check our preview. Don't worry about the names of these pages because we'll be able to edit the names in a minute. So if we now click on Catalog, you will see the first room that we have added to our page with all the details, so with the image that we have uploaded and some room features that we created for it. I can see that you start typing in questions, but I just would like to remind you that I will answer all your questions at the end of the webinar. So don't worry if I don't get to answer, if you keep on typing and I don't answer your questions, because I will answer all of your questions at the end of the webinar. Okay, so I think it's now time to create a proper gallery. So I don't know about you, but usually when I book a hotel, the first thing that I want to do is to flick through the gallery to get an idea of what the rooms look like, and to tour the premises a little bit to get an idea of the structure of the premises. So to create a gallery, a photo gallery, I'm going to use their Instagram account. They have quite an extensive social page with all the main social networks, and they have an Instagram account as well. So as you can see, these are the types of pictures that I want to import right inside my application to give my guests an idea of what is what's the look and feel of the hotel, what is the environment, what they can expect from the Mandarin Oriental Hotel. So let's go back to the dashboard, and let's move to the multimedia section where you can find this page called Photo. Let's click on Add Content, and here you find the list of all the different sources from which you can import your photos. As you can see, you can import your photos from an external website using the URL option, or if you want, you can create manual content like we did before. Or again, you can import your photos from Instagram, Flickr, and the major social networks. Today, I'm going to import photos from an Instagram account. All I have to do is just copy the very last bit of the URL, which is basically the account name, and paste it in here. Let's click on the preview to see what we have just done. There you go. So we have imported all the photos available on their Instagram account. Of course, when you are importing content from a social network, whether it is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or whatever, make sure that your content and your images are public, otherwise they won't be uploaded properly. If you want to see the details of each photo, all you have to do is just click on each one of them. And as you can see, you can get some information about the context, where the photo was taken. You can also share the photo on the major social networks. You can go back to the previous one or flick through the gallery. And if it's a video, you can also play the video right inside your application. Okay, so there's another page that I want to add to my application, and it's a booking form. After creating a room gallery, so it's now time to create a booking page where users can actually book the room that they have previously seen in the gallery and in the room section. To do that, I'm going to move to this category here called Forms. Once again, let's click on Add Content and create a new one from scratch. So this is the main panel to create customized forms for your application. You can create forms for any type of purposes you want, such as feedback forms to gather your users' feedback on your products and services, or maybe you can create booking forms, as in our case, to enable the booking of services right inside your application. I'll go a little bit faster over all these features because this subject will be extensively covered in one of our next webinars. So first of all, I want to give my users the chance to set an arrival date. So I use this module called Date. All you have to do is just click on the options and set a name for your field, in this case, arrival date. Then save your changes. Then I need, of course, my guests to specify the number of nights they are going to stay for at the hotel. So let's move to the standard section and use this page called Number. Once again, the same procedure. Number of nights. And save your changes. I'm going to add another number page, but this time to set the number of guests I have to expect. I also want to give my guests the chance to select the room type they prefer by choosing among single room, double room, and twin rooms. So I'm going to move to multiple choice. As you can see, you have 3 different options here. I'm going to go for the select option, click on options, and give a name to this field, which is room type. This time I have to move to the options because I have to set 3 different values for the 3 options that I want to show to my guests. So single room, then double room, and another one for the twin room. Of course, you can edit your form, you can add more options, or you can remove some options. I also need to ask an email address so that I can easily get in touch with them afterwards. So, text. And a text area, which is just a little bit bigger, that I can use for notes, so in case they have some special requests for their stay at the hotel, they can use this section to type in their notes. Save my changes, and there you go, our form is now ready. Let's take a look. I'm very curious to see what it looks like. Save changes. And take a look at the preview. Okay, you can also set some customization features, but like I said, we're going to see more detailed all these features in our next webinars. So arrival day, you can set your arrival day. There you go. the number of nights. I'm going to stay for 3 nights, 2 people, and I want a double room. You can provide your email address. And some notes. I want some goose feather pillows. And then you can submit your form. You can also customize the message, the thank you message that you receive. Okay, so we're almost done. Our application is shaping up very well. So there is one last page that I want to add to my application, and it's about special offers. If you take a look at the website, you can see that they have a specific page dedicated to all their offers. Because, I mean, we all love special deals, and apparently, according to a recent study on mobile customers' behavior, it looks like that the main factor influencing users to engage with an online company is whether they can offer incentives, such as special deals, discounts, coupons, and so on. So it's always a good idea to add some special offers inside your application. Christmas time is approaching, so let's create a special offer for New Year's Eve celebration. I want to recreate something like that, just like I did for the room page inside my application. To do that, I'm going to move to the general content section and use this page called coupons. Let's create our content from scratch once again. As you can see, the procedure is always the same, so once you get familiar with it, it all turns very automatic and easy. Okay. Let's add some details about this special offer. As you can see, you can set the date. It's valid from, let me see, it's valid from December the 30th to January the 1st. December. And expires on January the 1st. Once again, let's provide a website where they can find extensive information on this special offer. Of course, you can enable geolocalization options this time as well, and also provide a little image for it. If you enable e-commerce options here, you have the chance to actually allow users to buy the offer right from the application. All you have to do is just set the price that you can find here. You can set the correct currency, dollar in this case, and if the product is on discount, you can also set a percentage discount. Then you can choose between externally managed e-commerce options and internally managed e-commerce options. If you opt for externally managed e-commerce options, it means that you will have to provide a website where your users will be redirected to and where they can complete checkout procedures. But if you want to manage e-commerce options right inside your application using AppsBuilder, then you can opt for internally managed e-commerce. But in this case, please remember to fill in your e-commerce form with your company and PayPal account details by going to the settings section in your dashboard. Let's save our changes. And let's take a look at our coupon. Okay, there you go. So you can find the validity of our coupon from, well, actually the date was not right. I didn't set the correct date. The features of our coupon, and you have the option to add it to your cart and proceed straight to checkout. Okay, so now that our content is almost ready for each of our pages, we can start working on design. So let's start with some basic design features, and you can access these features using this icon called Options that you find on the right-hand side of each of your modules. As you can see, for each page you can set a whole bunch of features such as the title and description, the icon, the header image, navigation menu, menu appearance, and so on. This page, I don't know if you remember, was our About Us page. So I'm going to rename it, and I also want to choose a nice icon for it. Once again, the uploading procedure is always the same. Like I said, you can upload your own icons and your own images, but if you want, you can also take a look at our sets where you can find a whole bunch of icons, ready-made icons, as you can see. There you go. I also want to show you something about the navigation menu. Well, the navigation menu basically allows you to choose the way you want to arrange your contents, your pages inside, your sub-pages inside each page. So, for example, in the About Us page, we have our 3 sub-pages arranged as a list. I can also choose to arrange them as a grid. Let's take a look. There you go, as a grid on 2 columns. Or many other options, a grid on 3 columns, 4 columns as a top slider, and so on. I'm happy with the list, so I'll go back to it. Okay, and let's move on to the other pages. Of course, you can do the same. You can set an icon and you can change the name of every single page, also for submenus. This one was our room list, so I'll simply call it rooms. And use this icon here. I don't know if you remember the room pages that we saw some minutes ago. So as you can see, before actually listing all the different room types, you have a banner here, a big banner which introduces all the different rooms. I want to recreate kind of the same look and feel also inside my application. So I'll show you how to add a header image, what we call header image, inside your page. I'm going to do this for the room page. So click on Options, Header Image, and there you go. You can upload your own image to be perfectly viewable in portrait and landscape mode. Let's take a look. There you go. We have our big banner and then the list of all the rooms. Then we have our gallery. I want to rename it as Gallery and choose an icon for it. Okay, that was the form, our booking page. Let's call it Booking. And finally, our special offers page. Offers. There you go. As you can see, the procedure is very automatic and extremely easy. Okay, so we can now move to the look and feel section where we can further customize the app design and make it even more consistent with the company's design, for example. So let's move to the look and feel section. The very first thing that you will be asked to provide are the application icon and the splash image. These 2 elements are compulsory if you want to submit your application to the major app stores, but honestly, apart from the app stores, you should keep in mind that your app icon is the image that your users will always see on their home screen, and so it's a reminder of the application's functionality. That's the reason why you should choose it carefully, and you should always provide an application icon, even if you're not interested in actually submitting your application to the stores. Same things for the splash image. The splash image is the image that your users will see while waiting for your application to be fully uploaded. So it can make their waiting more pleasant and it can improve your overall usability. Let's upload an application icon. Okay, there's one. And a splash image as well. Okay, as you can see, you can also customize fonts, buttons, and extra icons. Let's move to the theme section just to, I'm going to go a little bit faster, I'm sorry, but just because I want to give you an overview of all the different elements that you can customize inside our dashboard. So in the theme, once again, I'm going to see all the pre-made templates that we previously saw in the wizard. So once again, you can pick a new one, or if you want, you can also import your own theme. So if you want to change your theme, all you have to do is just click on it and tick these two boxes. But remember that when you decide to apply a new template, all the previous design settings will be lost. So for example, if you have already uploaded some icons for your pages, like we did, these icons will be replaced by the icons provided by the new theme. So always think it twice when you want to change your theme. This time I'm happy with this layout because I'm gonna customize it moving to the home page. Right. The very first thing that you can do about a home page is to change the layout, the menu layout. So basically the way that pages are displayed on the home page. So at the moment it is arranged as a grid on 3 columns, but as I have 5 pages, I'm going to go for the grid on 5 columns. But of course you can choose the style that you prefer. As you can see, you have a wide range of options here. List, the grid on 1 column, 2 columns, fixed menu maybe. There you go. But like I said, I prefer the grid on 5 columns. Okay. You can also set some background features. You can choose between a plain color, a solid color, or you can upload your own image, which is what I want to do today. I'm going to use this one. Remember that when you decide to upload a background image, remember to uncheck this box here. This will allow you to see the image. Otherwise, if you want to opt for a solid color, remember to check, of course, the same box. Now, as you can see, I need to change color also of the title bar. The title bar is this upper bar that you find here on the top of your screen, where the navigation buttons usually are. So the title bar, once again, I can choose between an image and a solid color. This time I'm going to go for a color. You can choose the color that you prefer, or if you have specific code, you can simply type it in. And there you go. Of course, you can do exactly the same also for internal pages, just by moving to other pages. And if you want your application to be perfectly viewable on iPads and tablets as well, you can set a launch page by going to iPad. Okay, we can now move to the next sections, and in this webinar I'm going to skip the settings and manage user sections as they will be extensively covered in one of our next webinars, and particularly take a look at our webinar on events, where we'll learn together how to set push notifications, for example, and we'll have a look at some of the features that you find in these two sections here. But for today I'm going to jump straight to the promotion section and show you how to set up your app landing page. Before moving to the Promote section, you will be asked to confirm all your changes. Just confirm an update, and this is extremely helpful because this means that in case you have already published your application on the stores, all the changes that you have applied to your application will be pushed straight to your application and so to your users. So this means that you won't have to worry about resubmitting your application to the stores because the changes will be automatically delivered to your application. There you go. So, like I said, the very first one of our unique features is the app landing pages. So we offer you the chance to create your own very special app landing page to drive more traffic to your application. But before we take a look at our landing page and we learn together how to create one, let's take a quick look at all the other promotional tools that we offer you. You have QR codes, so you have the chance to create QR codes in 3 different sizes. which you can then print on stickers, posters, leaflets, and any type of printed marketing materials you can think of, so that you can freshen up your documents and presentations. There you go. You can use the QR code, or if you want, you can simply copy and paste this string here into your source code. As regards social share, this option allows you to spread word about your application using the major social networks, so Facebook, Twitter, G+, LinkedIn, and also via email. It's very helpful because using one single panel, you will be able to manage 5 different social networks at once. We also have the redirect to mobile options, which is by far the cheapest way to market your application and mobile site. So basically it consists of a pop-up message like the one that you can see in the preview here that invites your website visitors to download the application or access your mobile site for a more satisfying mobile experience. All you have to do is just type in a default message, a welcome message, and if you have published your application on the stores, just provide the link to Google Play and the Apple App Store. If you want, of course, you can also use the code string that you find here. And finally, of course, we offer you the chance to publish your application on the major stores. The major stores supported by AppsBuilder are the Apple App Store, Google Play, and Chrome Web Store for web apps, for HTML5 web apps. We're going to have a whole webinar dedicated entirely to this subject. So for today, I will just suffice it say that basically you have 2 options here. You can either take on the whole submission process for you, and in this case, all you have to do is just click on this button here, Publish App for Me, and we'll do all the work for you. Or if you want, you can also handle the whole process on your own by following these instructions that you find here, step-by-step instructions for each store. But now let's go back to the landing page and let's see how easy it is to create a landing page. So first of all, what's a landing page? It's a standalone web page that is used to advertise your application and showcase the main features to potential users. So basically it's like a mini website that is entirely dedicated to your application. First of all, we need, of course, we already have a title and we have an icon. We need to type in a subtitle. So okay, the best place to stay in New York. You can also add a short description. Let me see if I can find something on their website. Okay, I'm going to pick this short description from here. You can choose which type of device you want to show. A white iPhone or a black one. I'm happy with a white one. And of course you can upload an app preview image to show your users what your application looks like. There you go. And save your changes. As you can see, you can preview changes in real time on the right-hand side of the screen. Let's move to the features section. Here you can choose the features that you want to display about your application, but first of all you have to pick the category to which your application belongs. This is definitely a hotel, so it belongs to the hotels and restaurant category. And as you can see, you have some general features that you find for this kind of category, and for each one of them you have a short description. I'm going to select all of these features and save changes. And finally, some features about the look and feel. Okay, you can choose to align the device on the right-hand side or on the left-hand side. You can also change the background, choosing between an image or a solid color. And if you want, you can also upload your very own image. I'm going to pick a solid color. And as regards to features, you can choose to arrange your features on 1 column, 2 columns, or 3 columns. I'm going to go for 1 column and save your changes. If you want to take a look at what your app landing page looks like, just click on this button here, Preview in Browser, And there you go. It really looks like a mini website that is dedicated to your website, to your application. So as you can see, we find a nice preview of the application, all the major social networks to allow you to spread word on social profiles, and then a list of our app features with a short description. Of course, at the moment we only find an icon for the HTML5 web app because we haven't published our application yet on the stores. But if you do publish your application on the stores, you will also find 2 extra icons for Google Play and the Apple App Store. Once you have created your app landing page, you can post the link to your landing page on your social profiles, you can email it to your friends, or you can even connect it to dedicated marketing campaigns to drive more traffic to this page and encourage downloads of your app. Okay, we're almost done, so always remember to update your application at the end of each session of work. Just click on Update. Like I said, this is extremely important because all the changes that you have applied to your applications will be pushed straight to the application on the stores and so make available for your users. If you want to preview your application, just click on this button here and select the device on which you wish to test your application. This is strongly recommended before promoting your application or submitting it to the stores because of course you want to make sure that everything works fine and the design looks good on your device. So just choose the device, Android for example. All you have to do is download AppsBuilder demo app from Google Play and check in and log in into the application using your username and password, and you can test your application on the device. Okay, so that's pretty much it. We created a basic application in just an hour, about an hour. So of course over time you can add more pages, you can refresh layout, you can add new photos and so on. Basically you can keep your application alive. I try to do something very basic, but I think you got the idea, and of course during our next webinars we'll also have the chance to see some extra features provided by our dashboard. So if you have any questions now, you can start typing in the questions, and I'll just take a couple of minutes to go through all your questions and then get back to you with the replies. Okay, so here I am again. I have received a few questions. So the first one is about our directions widget. So let's go back to him. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so one of our listeners, one of our community members is actually asking whether it is possible to set some default settings for our directions widget. So a specific arrival, a specific starting point and an arrival location. Of course it is possible. I didn't do that because I wanted to leave it blank and I wanted to use it as a route planner, as a generic route planner for our hotel guests so they could use it just to hang around the city. But you can, of course, you can do that. So if you have a specific location, for example, your hotel address, and you want to provide directions to a specific landmark in the surrounding area, you can just use this option here and save your changes. We have then received another questions about the possibility to connect one page to another page without actually using a sub-menu, a main menu, a general menu. Okay, it is not possible at the moment to connect one page to another page inside the application. All you have to do, of course, yes, is to go back to the main menu. But of course, you can link one of the pages inside your application to an external web page. If you wish to create a multi-language app, you have to duplicate, yes, that's right, the menu structure, exactly. So, of course, with AppsBuilder you can create different multi-language applications. We support all types of languages. To create a multi-language application, basically you have to duplicate the menu so that on the home page, first of all, instead of finding the list of all the different pages, you will first of all find two or more icons indicating the language. So the user first of all has to select the language and then access all the internal pages in the language that he prefers. Okay, I've just received a question about the possibilities to create tourist tours I guess in the landmarks in the surroundings. It is possible to do that, and basically all you have to do is just select the pages that you can find under the general content sections. So, for example, you could create a list of all the different landmarks, of all the points of interest that you find in the surrounding of your hotel, and provide some information about the place and maybe some directions about how to reach this location. And you can use a module like, for example, the places page that we saw before, and you can combine this page with a widget for directions. Okay, I don't seem to find any other questions, but anyway, if you want, you can get in touch with me about this webinar using some contact details that I'm showing you right now. So basically, if you have additional questions, feel free to tweet me using the hashtag #AppsForHospitality on AppsBuilder main social profile. And if you have some technical questions, of course, feel free to send a request on our support forum. I can see another question, sorry. Yes, as regards the geolocalization feature, you can actually do that using the map options, the Google Map options that I showed you before. Like, remember when I created the page dedicated to the hotel, you had a little icon that you could just click on it and be redirected to a Google Map, where you can, of course, they can get the direction, your location directly. Okay, so like I said, I was saying that you can get in touch with us using our support forum, and you can open up tickets to receive technical assistance. And remember always to provide your application ID, because that will be the first thing that you will be asked to provide, so that our customer care specialists will be able to deal with your issues more promptly. And if you need some extra information about the mobile world, and particularly AppsBuilder's latest updates, take a look at our official blog, blog.appsbuilder.com, where you can find also plenty of instructions about how to perform some of the tasks that we have seen together during this webinar. And of course, we're always very happy to listen from you, to receive your feedback. So feel free to drop us an email at support@appsbuilder.com. And take a look at our YouTube channel, where you can find this webinar and many other webinars, as well as a lot of tutorials to perform specific tasks. So remember that this webinar will be has been recorded, so it will be sent to you at the end of this webinar, of course. And finally, before we close this webinar, I want to point out our special resource center, where you can also pre-register to some of our next webinars. We have recently launched this resource center. We are very proud of it. It's a gold mine of resources about AppsBuilder and the mobile industry in general. So as you can see, here you can find plenty of ebooks to find out more about app development and app promotion. And particularly, I recommend this guide called Tourism and Mobile if you want to find out more about creating applications for tourism businesses. You can also find some infographics on the mobile industry, and of course the list of all our webinars, with a chance to register to all the webinars. I strongly recommend that you register to the different webinars, even if apparently they're not exactly fit for your category, for your area of business. Because in every single webinar, we're going to see some different features provided by the platform. So, like I said, for example, in one of our next webinars, and particularly this one about creating events, we're going to see together some of the features below Manage Users and Settings. Remember those two steps that we had to skip today for time reasons, of course. So in this webinar, we're going to see together how to set push notifications particularly. And finally, of course, you can also check out our blog. So thank you very much for your time today. I hope you enjoyed this webinar and enjoy the rest of your day, and see you at our next webinar.